name is Jessica, and it's myself and Nick from Bazaar of the Occult, the amazing Bazaar of the Occult.
Everybody.
And this is our first of several virtual intention settings, because right now it's a time that I feel that spiritualism is activism, and we need to be calling on higher powers and energy to help us through these turbulent times. And this one specifically, this is our first ceremony of the century, because we are going to be doing these. Hopefully, things will get better and we just be more at peace. But ceremony of the century. And thank you, everybody, for being here today, because right now we really know that the state of the world needs our help, and our communities are suffering, and we get news all day long, and we read what's happening, and we do things as activists. We put resources out there, but now is a time for calling on higher energies, higher powers, gods and goddesses. Because right now we know, the BIPOC community has been suffering tremendously through priest brutality. We're living under tyranny under the current administration, and people are applauding these tactics, and our people are being hurt. And today, the purpose of this is just to do an intention setting for protection. We have to protect our fellow human beings, our brothers and sisters, because this is just not right. And for centuries, we look to ancient people, and everybody always in times of turbulence called in gods, goddesses, rituals and ceremonies. And I feel like that does get lost often. So right now, I just kind of want to bring it back and bring that energy. And all of us doing this at the same time, setting the same intention, is going to make an impact energetically and protect people we love and protect our communities. I want to bring it back and bring that energy. And all of us doing this at the same time, setting the same intention, is going to make an impact energetically and protect people we love and protect our communities. I want to go back and bring that energy. And all so right now, I would like to start the intention setting. But I would like to start, before we get into it, a meditation to kind of clear our minds, because it's important to clear your mind from your day before you do a meditation, before you set intentions, because all of that energy it gets in the way. You start to worry. So right now, I would like everybody to just close their eyes and take in some really deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on the inhale, let's breathe in and hold it in for 3 seconds. And on the exhale, blow it out for 4 seconds. Do 2 more. In for 3 seconds. And out for 4. And we'll continue this breathing pattern in through your nose deeply and out through your mouth. And when you're breathing in, imagine yourself breathing in this beautiful white light energy. When you're breathing in, it's filling up your whole body with calm and love. And when you breathe out, any kind of worries or fear or anger or anything that doesn't serve you, blow it out on that breath. And when you blow it out, imagine it as like this black smoke just clearing from your body that is filled with this beautiful white light. And with that visualization, let's do that process 3 times. Breathing in the light. Breathing out the negativity and things that do not serve us. And one more time. And remember, we are divinely protected. Right now, think about the intention that we're setting today of protection for our BIPOC communities. And call in, if it resonates with you, a god or goddess that you want to help you with your strength and to stand behind you and send this protection with you throughout our communities. I'm going to call in Mother Gaia and the Lakota goddess, White Buffalo Calf Woman. Mother Gaia is the creator of all things, divine protection. So we're breathing in this white light, and it's filled up our entire body. And imagine the white light in the center of your heart, beaming from your heart chakra. And that's breathe in. And on the out breath, send all that light energy of love and protection along with gods or goddesses you may have called in. You could also call in ancestors or people who have passed in your life that you know would want to help in this protection. Illuminate the white light of protection throughout the world. We are divinely protected. Nothing can come through this veil of white light that we have created, that we've put out into the universe to protect the people we love, our brothers and sisters. Our energy, our collective energy is powerful. Let's just sit and breathe and be at peace for a couple seconds. Now we can open our eyes, be present in our space. And today is the new moon in Virgo. We're approaching the autumn equinox in Mabon. Very important days astrologically, spiritually, and a time that we could really use this energy. One of the main themes of this Virgo new moon is change, and we need change now more than anything. People need to be protected. We need to be shining divine light on everybody at all times in love, and it's very hard to not be angry, but love will defeat all of the anger that is out there, and love will always prevail. So I'd like to read something that I wrote before we do just a couple intention settings. The new moon is a great time, obviously, for putting out into the universe what we want to manifest. And this is something collectively, as a collective, that I feel we should all be doing more often. But what a better day, there's no better day to do it. And we have the equinox happening next week on Monday and the beginning of Mabon. These really, we have to work with also the energy of the changing season. I mean, it was a rough winter for us, a rough spring, and summer as well. But now it's like we're coming into like an upcoming election, and like all of the energy, we just have to keep our eyes on the end of like the light at the end of the tunnel almost, because it's really important. But this is a great day for energy and all of us coming together, and thank you all for being here. It's so special that everybody wants to take part, because we have to do something, and the spiritual is always political. And for this intention setting, after I read what I wrote and go through a couple prayers, we're going to say a couple things out loud. But this is also something, if you want to write these down on a piece of paper, if you want to write down protection on a piece of paper and burn it later or burn it now. But I'm just going to be using words. So, the universe has given us a call to action. It is clear that love for all humans and species has never truly existed, because if it did, we wouldn't be existing as we are. There's no going back to that world. We must claim responsibility for our ancestors and protect our brothers and sisters. Light candles, say prayers, sage and burn tyranny away. Set the fiercest intentions. Triumph over tragedy. We are divinely protected. Summon the moon, the stars, the sun, the planets, the plants, our animal friends, goddess magic, everything that has seen us throughout our existence. Mother Gaia, shine your protection upon us. And I would like everybody, if you can, to say the following. This is actually a Lakota prayer, and it means all are related. And right now, everything is related. I mean, we see how the universe and how the weather is being affected by our behavior. It's all related. So the name of the prayer, it's Mitaki Kuye Oyasin. So we'll say it one more time. Mitakuye Oyasin. Mitakuye Oyasin. No, it's a little tricky.
Oyasin.
Mitakuye Oyasin.
Mitakuye Oyasin.
I'm going to do it one more time. Mitakuye Oyasin. All are related. And now let's just all say together, we are all divinely protected.
We are
all divinely protected. We are all divinely protected. We are all divinely protected. 3 very powerful words, and those words through all of us are going out into the universe, just creating this beautiful white light of protection. And for the second part of our ceremony, I'm going to take it over to Nick, and Nick is going to be showing all of us how to do a protection sigil.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess. I think that a couple of things that really stood out to me were that the spiritual is political. That there's no disconnecting these parts that seem so disconnected, like especially when you're talking about the climate crisis that we're going through. That's a clear indication that everything is interconnected in ways that we cannot even see and we have not even found out yet. So the spiritual is political. The political is spiritual. There are people that are fighting for their lives right now, and it's so disheartening to watch that, and to, at the same time, let it affect your own interpersonal state. That I think things like this, taking a minute together, just a few of us to sit here and have like a little bit of an intention, gives so much power to the individual and to the community, as opposed to giving yourself away to media and the larger cultural things at play right now. So definitely the spiritual is political. Absolutely. And so now I'm gonna pop y'all off, and I'm gonna take the screen for a moment. We're going to now work on a sigil together. We're going to make a digital version of this for us to share across social media. So I please invite your comments and chats about how we can, phrases or things that you think are relevant right now. So for instance, I'll throw this on the chat right now. One thing that Jess said in her intention setting was protect our brothers and sisters. So if you can see that in your live chat here, if you want to throw anything that's a phrase or anything like that that you think that we all need to focus on. We're going to create a sigil off of some of the things that Jess said and some of the things that you guys comment on. I know there's just a couple of us here right now, which actually makes it a little more intimate and comfortable and safe. So please throw any comments on YouTube or Facebook if you're going on there, and add some keywords if you think. And I'm going to talk to you about sigils for a moment as we create one, as you kind of throw that stuff in. So a sigil is essentially a symbol that gives you some power. There's a whole sort of realm of magic that's associated with sigil making. And it's essentially you will make a, you'll take a phrase or something that you want to remember, and you'll eventually take that phrase and make it into a symbol, something that's super easy to remember. So if we think about like the corporate cultural world that we live in, a really easy way to explain a sigil is with like corporate logos and branding. So if you think of like Nike, you immediately think of the swoosh logo and you think of their catchphrase, just do it. And so they've essentially used sigil magic in their branding of their corporate things. So you see that little swoosh logo, you think just do it. You see the McDonald's logo, you think McDonald's. I'm not even going to say it, but you know what comes from there. So we're going to take a couple phrases if you guys have anything to add. I wrote down a few things that I really like that Jess said. I really like the protect our brothers and sisters, but I like that when she said protect our human family. So I think if there's not anyone that's throwing anything in here, we will do that together right now. And so the way that you essentially make a sigil is you want to make a really memorable, clear-cut, simple logo that you can focus on. So if we're going to go with the phrase, protect our human family, which is what we're trying to come here together at the full moon, we're going to actually write it out. So we'll write out, protect our human family. And sigil magic is really, really easy to get going. So once you have your phrase and your intention or your idea, we're going to take all of the key letters out of here, and we're going to take any duplicate letters out of here so we can kind of get to the gist of it. So I see that we have a couple O's here, so we'll take out one of these O's. We have a couple of U's. We have a couple T's. Let's take out, oh wow, okay, that's a good one. So we're going to use what letters we have left to kind of like, let's see what we have left after we take out all these duplicate letters and things. So we have a P, we have an R, we have an O, T, we have protect, we have human, which has no, this is going to be a real challenge, y'all. So we'll take out that M, and we'll take out that A. So maybe we can simplify it, protect, human, and maybe that can represent family. And so then we'll take that simplification without all of our double letters, and we'll try to work that into like a really easy to think of symbol that we can share that will remind us about that we're all interconnected in this way. So we can either continue with the letters, we can combine letters together to make symbols combined with letters. But I think from my perspective here, we can use shapes, we can use symbols, all of this. I think instead of using all these extra letters that we have here, I think protect, like a circle is a really universal symbol for protection that we can then use that for. That's the protection of our human family. And so the rest of the way that you create a sigil when you have a phrase like this is you'll start to take letters. Maybe we could get rid of this N or the M since they're similar. And we can either combine letters and shapes. So that's sort of a symbolization of the word human that we made earlier. And family you know, you can combine the L and the I there. Now we've kind of had a more simplified version of this. But we'll continue to use the circle as protect, as like any magic circle or symbol that you'd like create protection around. And so let me bring Jess and Kate back in here to like maybe talk about like how we can then continue to create a sigil if we're using the circle as the base. And we have these couple letters that we can kind of combine together. We can even create a symbol for human and or family. So we have a few letters here left. Let me throw out what I'm kind of thinking to you with the circle. I'm kind of thinking about like Leonardo da Vinci, like the Vitruvian Man kind of aspect. So we can get something like this.
The human man.
What if, okay, what about when I
think that maybe next to the human man, like a leaf or something that's symbolic of nature.
So like we could throw like maybe like a leaf in the side to symbolize new growth, new ideas, the longevity of nature, that nature will always continue. So now what I'm thinking is like this Vitruvian Man thing, since we have the circle here, what if we go with like the classic peace sign, which is its own sigil in its own way.
It is.
Your classic peace sign that came out, 50 years ago, we could do something like that representing man and the human family. And maybe we leave that out, and maybe we maybe we create something like a planet as like the head of the person.
Yes.
So then we're thinking about like the peace sign, we're thinking about the human figure, and we're thinking about like the human family as a whole. So let's redo this.
I'm drawing it too.
We'll have this leaf kind of off to the side, almost like a planet map of the Earth. We'll have that classic like stick figure person shape, which also alludes to the peace sign, and then maybe having like the representation of like planet Earth in here.
What do you think about that?
What about like a shield shape or something like that in the middle?
Shield, like protection, like almost like a family seal, like a family crest type thing. Do something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you took it.
Now we could go with the lettering and the word human in the middle of that, or we could try to condense that shape into more of a sigil. So we could continue with that shield shape. And what if we just did bam? What if we did something like that? So we use a little internet lingo there and do like the human fam shielded.
There you go.
Or even, so the thing about sigils is you need to have an eraser handy because you're always working through and editing your sigil. Maybe like a half earth kind of shape here with that familiar like human shape, maybe arms holding the shield.
Yeah, putting the arms around the shield.
With the arms around the shield. Fam, earth, nature. So now we're getting much closer to a sigil here. If there's anybody like listening that has any suggestions or anything, feel free to comment on Facebook or YouTube. We can see all your comments right here live as we're trying to get this sigil worked out. But I think we're in the right process of creating a sigil. And it's all about using shapes. Hear that? Physical, technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm thinking of maybe some kind of protective ray or halo even around the circle as well.
you could do rays.
Yeah.
We could do arrows. We could do arrows as like the 4 directions.
Oh, yeah, there
We
you go.
could do rays as like the middle of the cardinal directions. Let's see, you can have the shield shape. You can have the indication of the peace sign shape. You can have the leaf on the side. So we're getting close to how sigils work, and we're getting really close to how actually you see all these corporate sigils, like in my first example with like the Nike logo. So it shows you how powerful symbology and images are, even in your subconscious mind. So as you've seen, we've worked through the protect our human family. This is the message we want to get across in this sigil. We found the circle for the protection. We found the shield. We've included the leaf representing new growth, almost like the wands in the tarot. We've had the earth kind of representing the head, or even like the consciousness of humanity is actually an interesting way to think about that, as it's like the stick figure shape holding the shield, indicating the peace sign. And even like, I don't know, I like fam in the shield. And I think so then if we are calling in like the cardinal directions, which is connecting even more with the earth, the new leaf on the side, like the world head, almost like the world consciousness, if we can all get together for protection for each other. We're our fam. I think we're really close to here. And let me like put it a little bit closer to the camera so you guys can see. So what we've made from Protect Our Human Family is the circle shape indicating protection, the stick figure shape indicating humanity with the earth head, a shield for protection for your fam, and then we have arrows outside of it indicating the cardinal directions, and a leaf on the side of the planet indicating like new growth and a new change for humanity. And so that's a different way of using a sigil. That's a way of using words to like assign your own shapes and things like that. But that's in its own nutshell is how to create a sigil and how to use sigil magic. Is you're essentially creating logos, you're creating images that work on a subconscious level to you. And something like this you can do in your day-to-day life, and the personal change you want to have, you can create your own sigil by creating a phrase, and then posting it on your bathroom mirror, posting it in the kitchen next to the coffee pot, and just letting that kind of stick into your subconscious, because all of the things that we're all looking at are all sticking in our subconscious mind, and it's things like this that can recalibrate us and kind of bring us back together into what we know is right and true. And so we'll take this sigil that we kind of created, and we'll make like a cool version you could share on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll post it on the Bazaar of the Occult page. If you guys are not on there, check out the Bazaar of the Occult on Instagram or Facebook, and then you can copy and paste that image that we'll make a little like computer digital image in Photoshop and like clean it all up for you. But I think you can get the whole gist of what we are kind of saying in that one image, and that's what sigil magic is all about. It's all creating one succinct image that gives yourself or your community personal power. And that's what we all need, is to like reassert our personal power and be less of the beholden of the society and culture in general. So yeah, that's a little crash course in sigil magic. And a sigil that we kind of made together, and we'll make a sweet little one that we can all share that looks super cool. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Beautiful. And yes, like share these with your friends. The more we put these sigils out there, that's going to create something on its own as well.
Yeah, and the sigil is the way to get into the subconscious. There's a reason why they spend millions of dollars in advertising a year to get you to not feel comfortable with who you are and where you are.
Right.
So the more that we're all comfortable together and doing our own thing, the better. So.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So wonderful. I'm so grateful to everybody that attended. It's beautiful.
Yeah, please do. This was our first one. I think we're going to continue to do like a monthly ceremony virtually. Next month we plan to do a politically motivated one to try to entice everyone to get on the same page and get out there and assert the little bit of magic that you have in our culture presently. And that little bit of magic you have is with your vote and with your dollar. And we want to encourage you to express yourself in both.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're just gonna keep doing them because people need these things. I feel like it's also the time that you take out of your day and you just focus on something really positive because everybody's day is. I mean, you don't really know what's going to happen anymore. So
yeah, your day could change minute by minute, and what you fill your day with really does affect your like mind, spirit, body connection. And I think right now we all need to be more integrating those all into ourselves.
We do.
So to finish my end, if you guys are watching, we'll post, we'll make a refined version of our sigil that we created. We'll put it on Bazaar of the Occult's Facebook and Bazaar of the Occult on Instagram. You can find us both there. If you are on there and you guys are still want to be involved, we're going to give away one of our brand new enamel pins. It's going to be for our next intention ceremony about politics and voting. And so we're giving away one of these vote or die enamel pins. So comment, add us, follow us, request the sigil, send us a message, and you'll be put into the running to win the pin.
If anybody right now in the last couple of minutes wants to, we're open for chatting.
Yeah, I'll sit here for a second as we sit in the Virgo new moon energy that's about to happen here, as we're starting to see the Mabon, as we're starting to see the fall come in. Definitely feeling that up here in Chicago for anyone that's streaming out of there. We're definitely feeling the change in light, the change in energy. And then we're about to transfer into Libra season.
Yes, Libra season.
It's a good season.
And I'm going to do definitely some new moon, new season rituals tonight. Just like I like to cook a big meal and burn the smells of the upcoming season.
Yeah.
That's always, I'm very into cinnamon.
Cinnamons and spices and hot drinks and
the beautiful things of the upcoming season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was reading this book. It's Llewellyn's Library of the Wiccan Sabbats.
Oh.
So this one, my mom got me them for Christmas. This one was Mabon. And it's funny how all of those ancient things kind of translate into the corn garlands, the red and white leaves.
Oh, that's so true. It's so true.
But it's just being connected with the earth and with the seasons, and you just go with it as it goes.
And that's the best way to do it too, because a lot of people get depressed and things like that when our light goes away and the seasons start to change and everything, to just embrace as much as you can about the season and sort of the magic of the season, is, I mean, the best way to kind of, do more than get through it and really connect to it and connect with yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's where I really see the magic of the earth coming through, is with the changing of the seasons, because
for sure.
It will hold all of humanity at its knees, nature and Gaia.
Literally.
That's why I love those storms, the weather events that come through, because everyone has to pay attention for a moment.
Yes.
The bigger picture.
Yeah. There's something much greater.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we just need to interconnect with it and connect and integrate with it.
Mm-hmm. Which we all did today.
Yeah. It was so amazing. Thank you, ladies, for joining.
Great.
And yeah, we'll definitely keep everybody updated. Like I said, follow Bazaar of the Cults page, like the page, subscribe to YouTube, everything, so you can be updated about all of the next virtual events. So this is a really good thing, though, because sometimes I'm looking at the positive of all of this. These virtual events are getting a lot of people together that you might not actually see all the time, or would be able to actually go to an intention setting, and you can all do it in this space.
Yeah, I think that's great.
It's a good substitute.
Yeah.
Because we can still make it happen, even though we can't see each other in person.
Yeah.
One day soon we will. Awesome. All right. Well, I think that ends it for now, correct?
Yes. Blessings to everybody.
Health and magic to everyone that was joining. Health and magic to you both.
You too.
You have a wonderful fall equinox.
Yeah.
Soak it in. Soak in these last few days of summer that we have, and
I'm going to.
Me too.
We'll all chat soon, hopefully.
Yes, we will.
Amazing. Thanks for everybody for joining. Thank you, Jess, for leading us. Thanks for joining in, Kate.
Thank you for the beautiful sigil.
Yeah.
We'll see you all soon. If you want to download the sigil, if you want to join the enamel pin contest, follow Bazaar of the Occult on Facebook or Instagram at Bazaar of the Occult. We'll be giving away a free pin, and then we'll be sharing the sigil that we made together in a digital form. So thank you guys so much. Blessed be.
Thank you.
Happy New Moon. You guys have a lovely evening.